cool down. Relieving stress from the weekend. It's always stress for me.
Not just us, because we're able to talk about it, but we have our fans at home who can hear our opinions. Cool down.
Welcome, welcome, gents.
Hey. New intro. Hey,
DJ remix.
Cool down. Hey.
Selo loves it. You do that. I don't think anyone does it as well as you do, Selo. Do you want to introduce everyone? You might as well. No one can do the cool down like you do.
To the top left, we've got Claudio with the weird hat. I don't know what the hat is all about. I think
it's homage to England, bro. Come on,
he thinks it's a panzola. He thinks it's a panzola. So he's got a sporty on. Then we've got Wonga there with his famous beanie that he needs to get a sponsorship for. And then we've got Matt, who's wearing a Portuguese jacket for I don't know why, is supporting his wife. To show that he does support Portugal. I thought he was going to wear something saying it's coming home or something like that.
So
and then you've got myself, who's wearing Argentina shirt in support of Messi and his boys.
Yeah, I think that sums it up well, Selo. I mean, I don't know if you want to comment on the Portugal top there. I think Matt and I are switching places. Matt's wearing the Portuguese shirt. I've got the homage to the England. And obviously, Wonga doesn't know it yet, but he's been supporting Denmark the whole year.
This is something that a lot of people can't do right now in South Africa that I can do.
Oh, Selo, little plug in there to the Devils of the Peak.
Yeah, there be a Devil's Peak. I never run dry.
Right, in the house, we've got Pumalani, we've got Alman, we've got Arjun, and we've got Dia. Thank you for joining us yet again. We've got other people. You guys just haven't commented, so we don't know who's here. Wonga, is there anything you want to say right now? Because we didn't give you a little bit of a shout out. We know you got your Danish beanie on. But, I mean, in terms of how you're feeling with regards to these semi-finals?
Look, I mean, the whole tournament in a whole, I think, especially these after the last 16 has been, I think everyone agree that the matches have been actually really good. Except for England-Ukraine. That was boring one way when Harry Kane scored 4th minute. But I think the other ones, I think they were actually very good matches. Whether your team went through or not. It kept you on the edge, and it's been, I mean, with the fans and everything, I think it's, it's actually nice to, hear all that atmosphere and see many goals going in. I mean, in these last, these last couple of rounds, and I'm just hoping that the next, 3 matches, bring the same.
Fair enough. I think before we delve deeper into the Euros, let's do what's quite important and something that was asked of us to do, and that's just touch on the transfer updates. Selo, we might as well kick off with United because at the moment the owners are making amends to the fans, are they not?
Amen. They owe us a lot. I think they obviously have to make amends, as you're saying. The club hasn't really had proper transfer windows, and especially last season's one was quite poor, where we only brought in Donny van der Beek and Alex Telles. So Sancho already is sorted, and now we're working on Camavinga and Rafael Varane, which is quite exciting. And I think it's a surprise in terms of Man United actually working on 2 deals at once. Man United is a club that only works on 1 deal at a time. They can't multitask, but working on 2 deals at a time is quite amazing. And quite refreshing. So I think if we can get those 2 deals over the line, I'll be quite happy, and then maybe get Pogba to extend his contract. I'll be very happy, and that I'll be backing the boys, and at least the Glazers would have somewhat made amends, but obviously not made amends. And I think transfers is one thing. Putting money back into the stadium is another thing. Not taking dividends out of the club is another thing as well. I think obviously there's a lot they need to do in terms of getting the fans back on side. But I guess with this is one of the things that will get us on side a little bit. And then obviously we'll see what the rest has to happen. Yeah.
And then I heard things about Varane. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and I heard Man United. Is it a rumor, or is there some credibility in that?
Sorry, I missed that. The name?
Varane from Rafael Varane from
Oh no, man! I think, hey,
Madrid.
man. At the end of the day, I think it's whether does Varane want to leave or does he want to stay at Real Madrid. I think the offer that they'll put on the table, I think Real Madrid will still try to offer him a contract because I think he wanted to be one of the highest earners at Real Madrid. And if you know what's gone on with the contract extensions at Real Madrid, Modric took a pay cut, Benzema took a pay cut, Ramos was only offered one season, whereas he wanted 2 seasons. So already Real Madrid were already cutting back on the transfer on the wages that they're offering. And then Varane obviously wanted to be one of the highest earners because he was earning less than probably Ramos and a Benzema, for instance. So I think if they do give him a decent offer, maybe something along the lines of maybe what Alaba is getting. I think Alaba is getting like about 12 million euros. If they offer him that, he'll decide, does he want to take it or does he want a new challenge and come to Man United? I think he's been at Real Madrid since he was about 19 or 20 years old. And he's 28 now, so it'll be a fresh challenge for him. He's won everything that he can win at Real Madrid: Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League. What else does he need to prove at Real Madrid? Come to the Premier League, prove yourself in the best league in the world. And yeah, man, tackle these boys from Liverpool, and tackle these boys from London, and tackle these boys from across the noisy neighbors.
Yeah, when I look at that Man United,
you think this is a coincidence that United?
So proud of. I was just saying, when I look at this transfer activity, man, it's of Man United, it's quite worrying, man.
Bro, you guys are trying to sign players I've never heard of, man. You're trying to sign some Japanese guy. You're trying to sign some guy
what's new?
who's playing in Belgium. I was like, who are these guys? I've never heard of them. Can you tell me something about them, Wonga? Because the only person I've heard about is Ben White, and then the other guys, some Japanese guy, and then some other guy. I'm like, who are these guys?
Look, you see, Zero, that's the funny thing. You see, the guys you mentioned.
Sorry. Japanese guy is not you. Japanese guy is Matt.
Yeah,
but
still,
Spurs. North
London is
like North London is going for players we don't even know, man.
You see, like Celo's mentioning players he doesn't know, right? And then I've got like another. I'm pretty sure. How's the list here? I can't count them out. I'm pretty sure there's more than 5 people I've got here. And I just looked at it, and I thought about it when I got all these names, and I said, no, this can't. Surely some of this is nonsense. How can I have? So Arteta's buying a new squad, if that's what they say. That's what he's doing. But that can't really happen if they're already putting 50 million on Ben White. So I don't know what Arsenal wants. It looks like they're trying to. I don't know if they know who they want. That's the thing, and it worries me if their head is everywhere. Looking for everyone. I don't know if that's the way it works in your transfer activity, but I mean, yeah. I mean, like the other day I was speaking with my cousin, and he was and he looked at the news, and he's like, "Oh, look, Arsenal. There's some stupid headline here saying that Arsenal are going to spend 50 million on Ben White." I said, "No, that's true. There's a lot of credibility in that," and he couldn't believe it, And I'm looking at and I know like Smith Rowe, obviously been offered 30 million. And I mean, look, if the guy goes, I wouldn't blame him, because now you've got a club that's like showing a lot of interest. I hear Aston Villa are going to put in a third bid for Smith Rowe, yeah.
Yeah, but that shows, man. If Aston Villa is going for one of your young talents, what does that say about Arsenal?
Yes, that's what the same question I had in my head, is that if they can persistently go for him, is that they truly believe that they can offer him more than what Arsenal have to offer, more than Arsenal's offering.
How the mighty have fallen, guys. How the mighty have fallen, guys. I think I know what's going on. But Matt, your side, you've got the Japanese guy. At least you got a new coach. So at least you can actually start planning. Because that was a problem. You can't really plan without a manager. But at least you got a manager, Nuno, coming in, and then obviously I think the first order of business is try to convince Kane to stay.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a huge thing, and I don't think we're going to know what's going on there until after the Euros. Kane, I don't think is going to get involved in any kind of discussion at that level. He's very focused on the Euros. Fair enough. I've seen a couple of rumors, obviously. Before they announced Nuno, I don't think any of those rumors going to really hold any water, because you don't know what he's going to have in mind. I did see an interesting one that said he might be looking to bring Vestergaard with him from Southampton, the Danish centre-back. He's had a very good Euros. And obviously he's got Premier League experience. So that could be an interesting signing. It looks like we may end up needing a centre-back. I've heard that Alderweireld might be looking for a way out, which would be a huge shame. but he's also, you know, like others in our back line, to
from Maria to Nuno. What a ball! Yeah, Arjun is yeah, but he's got
so
some
he
words,
but so I think I think Spurs, everything's going to be kind of on hold until we know what's going on with Harry, and that's not really going to get finalized anytime soon. So I think we're going to be in an awkward position of having to do a lot of business very late in the window, that's never ideal, but we do have form for that. It's very often the case that Spurs do all of their business really late, usually after the first game of the season. So we'll see what comes of it. I haven't seen, other than the Vestergaard rumor makes sense. I don't know, you know, with these things you never know how true they are. But other than that, I haven't seen anything really concrete that I'd be prepared to bet money on with regard to Spurs. And I think there's clear gaps in our squad. I think we could use another centre back. I think if Kane goes, we'll obviously need massive investment in that area. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting. Yeah, I think Arjun is right. I think Doherty's going to be feeling pretty good getting back under Nuno. I think he's going to be quite pleased.
Oh yeah, my coach is coming.
Yeah, you remember me, right? So I think that'll be good. And look, I think whatever you know you have to say about Nuno, I think he's going to bring a more positive kind of energy into Spurs. You know, Mourinho was a very divisive character.
Yeah.
When things went well, it's very easy to support Mourinho. As soon as there's a little bit of a bump in the road, he can be quite aggressive and kind of he'll throw players under the bus. We've seen the whole ongoing saga with Luke Shaw continuing until today, and that you haven't seen Nuno doing the same. So I think it's potentially a good thing for the squad. I don't feel as though Spurs are going to be challenging for the title next season, but to be honest, right now I'm focused on the Euros myself, so I haven't really given too much thought to the basket case of kind of managerial appointments that's been going on back at North London. I'm more concerned with the potential of it all coming home.
That's pretty interesting. I think before Claudia, before you touch on Liverpool, I just want to mention the fact that there's two Zambian players who've just signed for Premier League clubs. One being Patson Daka going to Leicester. He was the player of the season in Austria, top goal scorer in Austria as well. He's gone to Leicester. And then today I saw another Zambian player from Salzburg as well in Austria, centre mid. He's gone to Brighton. So it's actually good that some guys who are not too far from South Africa will be playing the Premier League, adding to all the other guys that are in the Premier League. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, Claudia, Renato Sanchez.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if you guys hear me because I'm lagging on my side.
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. No, from the Renato Sanchez thing, I suppose it's interesting. No,
but you don't hear much about Liverpool.
Why? What did I say?
You didn't say his name right.
Renato.
Yeah.
You didn't say it the way you say it. You said it last week.
Renato.
You had this other way of saying it last week, man. You.
Oh, Renato.
It's okay.
Anyway,
you probably just saying it the way you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, I don't know. Renato Sanchez. I don't even know this. The point is, right now, the lad is being linked with Liverpool allegedly. We know the thing with Liverpool is you never hear anything until the deal's done. So whether or not how true this is, we'll see. If it's his agent just putting it out there to create some sort of appetite for clubs, we'll wait and see. But he will be the right sort of ingredient for Liverpool's midfield, considering the fact that the genie was let out the bottle at Liverpool. So yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting because when we're looking at the midfield, we've got Chamberlain and we spoke about the old man Keita and his old bones struggling there. And I see it's a like for like. Sanchez coming in is the younger, more powerful, more direct version of Keita who will cope in the Premier League and has had that experience. I think Keita's just struggling physically to cope with the demands of Liverpool's style as well as just keeping up with the players in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting. I think his time, unfortunately, at Liverpool will probably be up. If they could get a buyer for him now, I think they'd get rid of him. But his injuries won't do him any favor and they're going to make a loss. So that's from the Liverpool front. Nothing else coming from there. I do know there are some younger players that they've let go and they've put some good sell-on clauses for, which has been fantastic. But yeah, that's pretty much it from that side. But let's talk about the Euros, like Matt's saying. It's all about England and whether or not it's coming home. I don't know. But before we do that, I just want to say, guys, we spoke about Epic Games, and we've got something coming up for you now. We're going to play it. Just keep your eyes peeled and stare at the screen now. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
What do you think they were doing before?
And then? What is this, bro?
What is this?
Let's open this. Ah! Woo! Bro! Adrenaline X! The cards that you collect. Open that. Let's check this out. We've got a box of goodies. This is why I do this thing. So Epic Games. What? Let's just check. Yep, this has come from Epic Games.
What?
They've sent us some cards for the Euros 2020, Adrenaline X. You know those cards that you collect? You collect all the players of the Euros and then you play card games.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
That's what it is.
Oh, pretty cool.
People. So which cards did you get there?
There's nothing.
Oh, Gnabry. Former Arsenal player, of course doing the thing now in Germany. And obviously Bayern Munich, now spreading his wings. But anyway, yeah, so the game, what you can do is you get a file.
Yeah.
You put the cards in the file you can collect and you can exchange them. And as you can see, things are flying all over here. But they got the stats of the players, and then you can trade them. So if you want a better card, Wonga, so check one of your cards there. What do you have? Ah, Danilo. So he's got, for example, if you show the camera there, you can show the guys. So he's, for example, he's got attacking 66. If I'm looking here with Nathan Ake, 73. So if I had to ask him and I say, cool, what is your attacking stats?
Yeah.
And I say, yours is 60.
66.
66, mine's 73. I'm gonna then win your card. Thanks for coming. And that's how you play the game. The best part about this though is they've got an app now. They've got an app. So the app, you download the app and you play the games, and then you get digital cards, which are exactly the same cards, but on the app that you exchange.
That's pretty dope. I won't lie.
No, that's pretty cool.
That's
and then there's a league, so you can play guys. I'm getting too excited about this. You can play guys in Peru. You can play guys in Germany. You can exchange cards with them, and you play actual matchups, and they keep all your stats there online for everyone to see. So if you're really good, they know you're a baller. It's the value pack, the mega starter pack for the Adrenaline X Euro collection. Look at that, official trading cards, and what this comes with is it comes with your sticker book, where you can collect the stickers as well as your cards. It comes with the file, and it also comes with, what else does it come with? The posters. So it comes with posters, and then to collect your cards, the checklist poster. So you know what you have and what you don't have. This is how you meant to trade if you don't know. Okay?
Exactly. That's pretty dope.
Epic Games. You go to the website, you buy it directly from them. But if you can't do that and don't know how to use the World Wide Web, which you should be able to, especially if you're a youngster, you can go to CNA, Take a Lot, and other stores who Epic Games provide you. But you always want to go to the horse's mouth, no? No?
Yeah, I really need to do.
So you're going to do that one, go?
Alright.
Well, you're getting the tech now.
I'll take this one.
You want one of these bad guys? So we're gonna run a competition. We need to give our fans this. We're gonna enjoy it. We need to share it with our fans.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the challenge is simple. They got to tag Epic Games, Goal Lounge, share it, tag a friend. You want to add a bit of a twist?
A little bit of spice wouldn't hurt.
Make
yeah.
a challenge.
Make a challenge. I already see a couple of players on this cover. Let us ask them, how many players are in this pack? And then
How
we'll
many
take
do you
it from
think?
there.
How many do you think?
16 teams in the tournament, COVID regulations. I think they'll be this. You guys are definitely in it.
Give us a number. Ballpark figure.
Ooh, 700. Bit too much.
I'd say 540.
Oh, okay.
Claudio was like a kid,
Enough of that.
a kid in the candy store there.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I was. Yeah, so I mean, guys, we've got Panini cards to give away on behalf of Epic Games. So just tell us how many cards you think there are to collect for the Euro 2020. Tag 1 or 2 friends. And if you guess correctly, obviously you need to follow us and subscribe, etc., etc. And if you guess correctly, we'll be sending you a free Mega Starter Pack from Epic Games for...
Tell everyone how to enter, man. Follow us on Instagram. tag Epic Games, like Epic Games. Tell them, man.
No,
Tell
so you're better at this, Celo. Go ahead. You can see I was struggling there. You go.
Come
go.
on, let me.
Yeah, you got to be
let
the voice that comes at the end of the advert and reads the terms and conditions.
man,
you know.
listen to this.
Cloudy's the
listen to this.
sizzle
Okay.
and you're the sausage, you know?
This is how you enter, guys. Like the post on Instagram. So find us on Instagram firstly. Goalloungetv. Follow us. Head to Epic Games ZA and follow them as well. And then comment by telling us how many Euro 2020 cards you think there are in the collection and tag 3 friends. Bonus is if you share the post on your story tagging us and Epic Games. So you heard that, guys. That's the 5 ways you can. That's the 5 steps you need to follow to enter, guys. So if you have Instagram, go over to Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, go over to Facebook and enter as well.
There we go.
Yeah, and I mean, Celo, this is why we're missing you in studio. This is Wonga needed some guidance there.
No, man, no. I
don't know what's going on there. I'm freezing on my side. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah,
No,
you need to
can
sort
hear
out.
good,
You
Claudio.
you need to sort out
But it's a bit
your
delayed.
take. You need to sort out your take.
I thought I'd jump in
All
there
right.
with
Well, moving on now that you know how this works.
This guy. Okay, cool. So I think we all focused on the Euros and we kind of forget that there's this other tournament that's happening or on the other side of the world in South America, in Brazil, which is the Copa America. 10 nations competing. There's only 10 nations apparently in South America. So they don't have the luxury of extending their competition to 24 teams and best of 3, number 3, whatever. But yeah, so it's also the semifinals. Brazil played last night and they beat Peru 1-0. And then tonight is tonight in South America, but 2 a.m. in South Africa is Argentina versus Colombia in the other semi-final, and the winner will play Brazil in the final. And I just wanted us just to touch on it a little bit and just ask ourselves: will Messi still be regarded as one of the greatest players ever if he doesn't win a major tournament with Argentina?
No.
I think
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Quick answer.
It'll be a debate, but I think it'd just be more of a debate. But I mean, the guy's proved himself for me. He doesn't have to win a cup for me. He doesn't have to win a Copa America or World Cup.
Yeah, like because if you think about it, like Ronaldo's still considered one of the greatest. And although he's won stuff with Portugal, there's always that sense of Portugal could have done more. I think the way individual players carry national sides is not always the only way you measure them. You look through history, some of the best players you do think about, and obviously some of them are associated with what they do on the international stage, people like Pele and Maradona. But there's other players who have gone down in history just by only ever achieving stuff at club level. The likes of George Best, for example, is the one that springs to mind for me. Northern Ireland never did much even with him in the side, but for United and for what he did on the field, he's remembered as one of the greatest. I think Messi's going to go down as one of the greatest. I think for him personally, there'll always be that regret that he hasn't since been able to get Argentina over the line, which I'm sure he has to kind of deal with. But also the Copa America, the biggest story for me there has been the controversy around the fact that it's going ahead at all. You know, they've had such a challenge, with COVID and everything. And I think in a way it would just be so quite a little bit annoying for Messi to win this one when everybody's saying it should never have happened, and then finally he pulls it off, and it's in the backdrop of huge political uproar and people saying the side should pull out and stuff. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on in his mind as well.
Yeah, no, I think you guys share valid points. Claudia just said a flat out no, which I think he has his reasons, but I think that I think that he can still be regarded as one of the greatest. As you said, Matt, there are certain players who've gone to certain levels at club level that no other person has ever touched at club level, and we cannot disregard their national team performances. And also, it's not like Messi didn't go to a World Cup final in 2014 with Argentina. You know, if it wasn't for Gonzalo Higuain scoring a goal offside, I think things would have turned out differently. Götze only scored that goal in extra time. So things could have turned out differently for Argentina. They lost the final. He's lost the Copa America on penalties against Alexis Sanchez and Vidal. So he has gotten to finals in those tournaments, and I think he's just lost by narrow margins, 1-0 penalty shootouts, which is, I guess, sometimes it's very unlucky. And I think you can't disregard what he's done in the European scene. But it'll be interesting. But they have to get past Colombia first before they can even think about playing against Neymar and his boys. And it's been interesting, actually, the way that the starting lineup for Brazil has been quite interesting. Fred has been starting. I know Fred has been made a joke of in this show sometimes, but Fred has been starting for Brazil in the centre mid with Casemiro.
You say it like it wasn't you that did it. You're like this show, like all of us, like collective.
The man was the driver in the bus. We were just passengers. We were singing in the background. The McFred bus the McFred wheels go round and round on the school bus, man.
Fuck off.
I don't have strong opinions about the man.
Hey, man, but yeah, he's been starting for Brazil. Been interesting to see him performing and playing well. But yeah, I guess and Ellison has been dropped. Claudio Edison is now the number 1. But yeah, let's see what happens in the semis and then happens in the final. It'll be interesting. And yeah, that's why I'm wearing. Yeah, man.
I think the whole Ellison thing being dropped was there's another part to that. It's the emotional side, being back home in Brazil. He didn't get to spend time with his family since his dad passed away. I'm just putting that out there, just by the way. Yes, Wonga, what did you want to say?
No, I was gonna say, like, for me, like, watching.
You always have to such things.
I watched. I watched maybe. It's not fair to comment on the whole thing, but I just saw like the highlights of Ecuador and Argentina. And Argentina kind of hammered them, but Ecuador looked like a team that wanted Argentina to really win that game. I don't know, they're just open. I don't know if the fans not being there also maybe is also maybe putting me towards a bias as well. But everything just seemed dead. I mean, obviously, maybe also it's because you're watching the Euros, and I go back and watch that game as well. There were many opportunities where Argentina were 1-on-1. I think Messi even hit the post on one, and even with then I went over to see Peru's one as well. The Peruvian goalkeeper, gee whiz, he kept his team in it. But eventually, I mean, obviously, I think Brazil is just too much for them. I think I see Arjun says that Brazil he says they were lucky, but I mean, from the highlights I saw, that Peruvian keeper was he was amazing. I mean, he was stopping, rebound upon rebound until obviously the end. He couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it is the fans that maybe towards my past. Not the first. I saw other games as well, but it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems very open. I don't know.
So sorry, Wonga. I just want to stop this. Here, Arjun's telling us something quite heavy. Okay, and he's saying
they still makes jokes.
Yeah, he doesn't want to share his issues because he's saying at the moment he's going through chemo. Yeah, but he still says the pain and everything else is still not as bad as being an Arsenal fan. just want to say that.
Yeah.
So, but on that note, Arjun, we want to say thank you very much for being a part of the journey with us, and thank you for joining us and bringing on obviously Aman and Dia.
Stay strong. Man. Don't give up, man. I think whatever you're going through, I think it's definitely very tough, and I can just imagine the pain and so on. But hang in there. You need to just hang in there so you can see Sancho at Old Trafford tearing it up, man. So we're gonna do well this season. So you need to be there and watching. Us at Old Trafford. Dia will fly you to the UK.
And that private jet of hers. We can be in the background.
Get a stadium tour. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I think it's man. Don't give up and just stay strong, man. I think it must be very tough.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if if you want to say something, Matt.
I think it's just always great to have people on here who see it the way we do. Like football's all about fun. You see so many football shows and they take it so seriously, and talk it to death. And what we've always tried to do here is have fun. And Arjun's always been exactly the same. He gets on, he's always up for a laugh. He's holds no punches, and I think he's exactly the kind of person we do this show for. So I'm really glad that you're here with us, and I really hope we get to share some more laughs with you over the coming days. And hopefully, if you timed it better, you could have gone to United in time to go on the grass. If you go there, you might still need to start a new protest next time you go there, so you can get on the field. But the United fans have shown it can be done. So just go there and set fire to an effigy, and you can get on the field, mate.
Yeah. Wonga, do you want to add?
I think Matt and them have said the most, but I think from my side, we really did enjoy our time with Arjun. I think sometimes the shows even really stopped to hear what was going on with you guys that side. It really feels like you're a part of we're part of us and what's going on here. And we appreciate you sharing us. And I mean, it's you can also feel it's a genuine feeling that we have for each other. Yeah, man. And it's actually nice to have.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're definitely an extended member of the family. So we will, if there's something, if you can get us via Arman or something, send us your address. Maybe we will do our best to get you a little something on behalf of the Goal Lounge family. Okay, and on that note, talking about family, talking about whether or not it's coming home, we do know that Matt enjoys throwing his kids into the ceilings when England do win. So, Matt, what are your overall feelings there?
It's hard not to be nervous. Obviously it's a semi-final. There's a lot of positivity about it. I think tonight's going to be an interesting one. I'm very jealous of the people who get to watch tonight's game, but tomorrow's one is huge. It's first time I don't think England have ever done the semi-final of a major tournament twice in a row. So it's obviously a huge achievement for the side. They were in the semi-final in Russia, and now they've done it again here. And there's a lot of good feeling around the squad. I think they've shown the ability to kind of knuckle down and do the hard work. They've shown the ability to stick to a plan and kind of each of them do their job. And you see each player on the field, they give 110% every time they're on the grass. So we've given ourselves the best shot we could possibly have, but it is a semi-final. It's a big stage. Anything can happen. Nothing's guaranteed in knockout football. Denmark also didn't get here by accident. They got some solid players that have been playing really well. Statistically, they're looking good. They've had more shots than everyone except Spain and Italy. They've scored more goals more goals than anyone except Spain and Italy. So they're not to be messed with. They've had 7 different players score goals across the tournament, which is big. And they've got a lot of players who are playing at top levels across Europe. So this isn't just straight off the turnip truck group of people just very lucky to scrape their way here. This is a solid side who've been playing some fantastic football. and 95th minute, every goal's after the 90th minute. I think it is going to be tight. I think both sides have shown they can score goals, but both sides have also shown they can defend. So I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. I have this feeling and optimism that England can win it. But I'm going to be very tense. I won't lie to you. You guys are going to be... You'll probably, from wherever you are around South Africa, hear me scream if we do score. Because it's gonna build up. And I'm trying not to get superstitious. The last time England lost at Wembley was to Denmark, funnily enough. So, so it is going to be a very interesting game. So, and I think that game was also the game that... Calvin Phillips made his debut. I need to confirm that, but I think that was so. There's a lot of if you're a superstitious person, which I know Claudio is a lot of things to think about. So I think it is going to be a very, very difficult game for England.
Yeah,
but
it will.
I do feel quietly confident. I think tonight's game is as a neutral. Thankfully, I'm a neutral for tonight's game. It's going to be exciting to watch.
It'll be a great watch. Yeah, it'll definitely be a great watch. I think definitely. But yeah, as Arjun's asking there, who's going to start on the right hand side? Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Sancho? Who do you think is going to start?
I really don't know. It's really hard to say because it's kind of who would you start? I think what we've shown during the course of the tournament, it's impossible to read Gareth Southgate's mind. I think Pumlani's put the nail on the head there. he's not just crowbarring every good player onto the field, which is what England historically have done. He's played the side that they need to play to win the game they have. So I've read some talk that he might revert to a back three because of the way Denmark are going forward to give wing backs some freedom, which is he may well do, and that obviously affects who goes up front. I think what we know for sure is that Sterling and Kane will start up front, and it's really who's looking good and whose system is going to work best around them. Your guess is as good as mine in terms of who it's going to be. We'll obviously find out a little bit early because of the media leaks, but the
leaks are always accurate. They're always leaking in the morning, like the last game. Sancho's going to start, and you're like, okay, you guys seem to be right every time. The other game as well, Saka's going to start. Whoever's going to start, back three, whatever. Every single time, the leaks are worse than Man United's leaks. Man United leaks are like the most ridiculous in the world. One guy, we can hear you laughing, but we can't see you. I don't know what's happening, man.
What the heck? I can see you guys. I went off and then I went on.
But don't forget the driver of the show is not here to put you in, man. That's why. So we won't be able to see you. We can hear you. So at least when you want to speak, just speak, and we'll just say it's the guy in the darkness that's speaking right now.
Yeah, what we could do, we could pretend we've got someone behind the scenes, like an informant.
Yes, true. We're like, hey, man. So hey, backstage, can you guys just
we can't reveal his identity for legal reasons.
Oh, there he is.
Now we've got him killed. Well done.
Nothing has changed for me, Oaks. On my side, nothing has changed for me. Pretty much, I did an Arsenal this season. I just disappeared, and I hope we come back. I hope we come back.
But hey, Roberto Carlos has been amazing. He's assisted the last game and the game again. The Germany game where he obviously didn't have the assist, but he created some good passes and so on. He had the assist for Sterling's goal and the pass to Grealish, who created for Kane. And I think I'm so happy for him as a Man United fan, but also because I think he hasn't been appreciated. He's obviously there's been backlash from been criticism from Mourinho. Even now, still there's criticism. I think it's always good to see a player actually show up and show what he's worth or show his worth.
I think that's a story of the England side this tournament as well. There's a few players who've proven themselves to be quite key for England, who've gone through periods of criticism, either from manager or press. You look at the likes of Sterling, who had a horrible time for a few years in terms of the way he was treated by the press. Luke Shaw had a really rough time under Mourinho, and even his career in general kind of went on a bit of a wobble. Even someone like John Stones, who, if the tournament had gone ahead last year when it was supposed to, it's very questionable whether he would have been in the squad at all, never mind the starting 11. So I think across the England squad, there's players who've really stepped up and shown their true character. Maguire didn't have a great season in terms of the way he's been perceived, and we've been slagging him off on the show during some of his performances in the season. Harry Kane had his doubters for those first couple of games, as is always the case with Harry Kane. I think we forget how good he is. If he just goes 3 games without scoring, people are like, he's, what's this guy? And then he comes back and scores 3 and 2. So I think there's for me, the best one is probably Sterling. I'm just really happy that he's shown how much he can really do. And I think that's what happens when you get linked to Arsenal. You're just like, I'm not falling that far. I'm gonna just have the best tournament in my life.
Oh damn, that's crazy stuff. So definitely he's trying to show us that he's not an Arsenal level player. He's still a Man City level player. He's still a championship winning team level player, not a number 9 team level player.
Exactly.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
but
I mean, look, I think for me as well. I think if I look at obviously the one guy representing us, there's another one. No, there isn't. Saka. In the England squad, and he's doing it so well. And also, I mean, he's a 19-year-old kid. He's still a teenager, the guy,
Yeah.
And I don't say he's given a lot of responsibility on his shoulder. But it looks. I like the fact that he's going out there and he's trying. He's trying his best. There's no fear in him. And that's what I'm liking to see, and I'm just hoping that continues. Obviously. Going into our season, and then again, Harry Kane. I think the Harry Kane thing. It's a bit. It's also funny that it's. I don't know if it's. I'm not sure if it's the English media itself, but I mean, look, the guy banged in top goals top assists last season in the English Premiership. You know, and the goals scored, there were headers, there was left foot or right foot, and there were left foot out the box, right foot out the box. There were hectic goals, you know, for Tottenham, you know, and I think for people to then say, it's to now doubt the guy whether he's, good enough for the squad. And I think the only question.
Hey, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show, man. Hey, it's good. Thanks, you finally joined us, man. Welcome to the TheCoolDown.
Mr. Goalloungetv himself.
I enjoy getting 2 introductions. I might just do this more often, disappear and come back.
Yeah, he took me with you, bro. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, he was also gone. Wonga was also gone, man. Shame, man.
But I want to go back to what Wonga was saying about Saka. I think what's really cool about what Southgate's done, he's got a lot of talented young players. Saka's the one who's being talked about at the moment, but you look at the likes of Foden and even to a certain extent Grealish, who's somewhat on the fringes. The really smart thing that Southgate's doing, he's not throwing these players and expecting them to carry everything every game. That pressure's not there. They're allowed to come in for the games and the moments that suit them to do the job they know they can do. And I think that's such a smart way to handle a squad in a tournament like this. You know, there's a limited number of games you have to win the Euros. And using the squad this way has allowed Saka the freedom. When he was on the field against Germany, he was immense. I couldn't believe it. True. You know, I didn't watch him every week during the season, so I knew he was a decent player, but I'd never seen that kind of performance out of him. Yeah, and I think that, but then the next game he didn't start straight away. There's the Southgate's using the squad really well and allowing the young players the freedom to kind of push themselves to their limit, but not feel like they have to then they go repeat that every game, because that pressure is also what can kill you at this level. And I think it's been really clever. I think Southgate has shown his own maturity as a manager and his ability to kind of see what is at his disposal and tackle each game as it comes. I think I've said it a few times. He plays each game on its own merits, and I think it's been huge. And and that feel good factor that Arjun mentions about England as well, it's immense. I mean, to have an England squad that England fans can get behind and feel an affinity for, that's not always the case. There's often a sense of kind of arrogance or a certain level of kind of talk before they've walked kind of thing. And I think this squad is clearly, they're grounded, they're sensible young men. They're also just really likable. It's a really likable squad. Southgate's a really likable person.
It's coming home. Exactly. Is that grounded though?
It's happening. And I think
not true.
It's huge. It's the most exciting I've ever been to follow England at a major tournament. It's fantastic.
But I'm asking Matt, that slogan is coming home. Is that grounded?
Yeah, Wonga, you see what Arjun is saying there, man. That smile, man. Are you happy that we're talking about Saka so much that you just froze when we started talking about Saka, or what's going on there, man? It's like
it's Barrero sabotaging.
He's like,
I don't know. I think I just want to touch on one of the facts that Matt's talking about. The feel-good moment is in the camp, in the English camp. But what's pretty interesting about how this tournament's set up, all 4 teams in the semifinals, as things stand, are currently experiencing a feel-good moment. And that's one of the things. Normally there's 1 or 2 sides and you go, yeah, they've got that extra motivation. But in this scenario, you're looking at Italy, they've just kept powering through. You've got England, obviously, you've touched on that match. You've got Denmark behind the Eriksen thing, the real underdogs of the tournament. And then you've got Spain, who have been trucking along as they have been, but obviously without household names, but rather as a unit. Again, all of them are unit sort of sides. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes up. And I think one of the interesting things moving forward is in terms of whether or not it comes home, do England win this game? And I think I want to hear your opinions, guys.
I don't think it's I don't think it's as straightforward as that. But yeah, obviously England would be favorites. But Denmark again, they're not an easy team, and they've got obviously now they're already here in the semi-finals, so they might also feel that they win it. I just think in this where they are now, the teams I don't think it's gonna be more than just the quality of the teams that takes them to the finals. I think it'll be who wants it more at the end of the day. That'll be on top of the quality of the teams.
I think a lot of it is going to come down to both sides are probably going to get chances.
Jack Grealish.
Jack
It's going to
Grealish,
come down
yeah.
to Jack Grealish. Yeah.
Look, I feel like England are going to win it. I'm feeling hopeful. I think we're going to win it, but at the same time, I think that it's going to come down to a handful of moments, a handful of mistakes. I think England have shown, as much as we've been fantastic the last few games, there's been one or two moments where we've still let sides in. Germany had a chance to equalise. Against Ukraine, there was a couple of moments where the ball got in behind, where Walker was a little bit made some errors of positioning or passing, and there was opportunities for Ukraine to score. So I think Denmark will have their chances, and it's whether or not they're going to be more clinical than the sides we've played before. I think England have to take their chances as well, because we haven't been creating a huge amount of chances, but we have been taking them when we needed to, which I think is going to be key. So I think it's going to be a very tense game, and I think it's going to come down to a handful of very key specific individual moments, either mistakes or chances taken, that are going to define what happens. But I'm hopeful. I feel like England are going to win it. I do think we're going to go to a final. The final is going to be a whole other conversation, and I just don't know, because both Spain and Italy are looking great. But yeah, I think England are going to win this one.
No, unfortunately not, man. I think Forte Azzurri, Italian job. My team for the tournament has got this in the final on lock. Obviously, we have to go through the Spanish tonight, but I feel that Italy. I've been impressed with them. Like that they've been the most impressive team for me this whole tournament. I've always liked England as a team, but not really that much now. I really liked them back in the day when Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholesy were in the team. Just merely because those are four great midfielders, and I think they deserve to win something back then. And you still had Rio and Terry at the back. And Rooney, obviously, probably one of my favorite players ever. And I think, obviously, I don't resonate that much with this English team, just merely because just certain players I probably don't even like that much. Your Jordan Hendersons and the likes. But yeah, Italy is my team, and Italy are the ones who are bringing it home, man. They take it back to Rome.
I don't know. So the thing that makes me confident about England is the squad depth they've got. Of the four teams left, no one has the depth that England have, and I think that's what gives Southgate that kind of extra piece to play, as it were. Is he could really choose 3 or 4 different systems to go up with in the semi or the final, and he'll have the players to fill that, and it won't feel. You look at when for the last 20 minutes of the Ukraine game where we made those 5 substitutions, the 5 players that came on, you didn't feel like that was weakening the side. Obviously Kane coming off to save his legs and stuff, but look at the players that came on off the bench, Bellingham and Rashford, and I'm trying to think who the other players who came on were. And it was, but Trippier came on to give Shaw, protect Shaw from the yellow. And I think those kind of players could have won that game on their own, even if they'd started. And I think that squad depth, I think I mentioned it in our chat, is I've seen England with a lot of squad depth before, but never like this, and never with a manager who actually knew how to use it. You talk about the golden generation with Scholes and Beckham and Lampard and Gerrard, and even then we had other good players, likes of Carrick and Hargreaves and all of them coming through. They were never used effectively. We never had a system that worked. We never had. There was never a time where England felt confident. I've watched all of those games. I grew up watching these teams, and there was never a time in a tournament where we'd go into a game and I'd be like, well, I know we're going to set up, we're going to play this well. We've got stuff that can come off the bench and do things. It just doesn't work. It's no,
definitely. I think yeah, it's a better squad system this time round, and a better. I think also managers need to learn from the past, and in this instance, Southgate has learned from the past, where you just chuck all the best players on the team and try and make it work somehow. Whereas I think you should rather play to each player's strength. If it is that Lampard benches, or that Gerrard benches, or Scholes benches, so be it. I think that's the most important thing, is using your players efficiently and not just chucking them on at the same time. But yeah, and sorry guys for the Wi-Fi, guys. I don't know what's wrong, but myself and Matt, as you can see, we've been clear as day throughout the show. That just tells you about our Wi-Fi connection.
Mine is good. Curtis sabotaging.
Or our faces. I don't know about Claudio and Wonka. They need to. They need to get a new package.
I'm taking Wonga down with me, son. I'm taking him down with me. I think, man, I've just got someone latching onto our Wi-Fi. Yeah, I need to change the password straight after this. That's what I need to do, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think you're right, Selo. I think the way he's set up is huge, and I think as an England fan, there's a sense that you never know. You can't guarantee you're going to win or you're not going to win. And we might not win this. It feels like we could for the first time in ages. But at the same time, if England don't win this, I'll be able to walk away from it knowing that we gave it the absolute best shot. We did. Every player did what they were meant to. The manager had a clear plan. It's not like previous tournaments where we limped out embarrassingly and nothing worked. I think that in that way, it's a much nicer feeling as a fan than I've had following England for a while.
Yeah.
Guys, can I just say, I know my internet connection is bad, but I do read the thing at the bottom saying Euro semifinals, Italy versus Spain, and Matt's been talking about England. I'm just saying.
No one interrupts me. What do you want?
But you must introduce the topic because you're back on now. Oh, what's happening, man?
No. But Selo, you know the rule, guys. Guys, you look at the tag at the bottom. When the tag goes up, we must be switched on. Okay. We must be switched on.
Okay, so now I'm Spain now because they were one of my sides. Remember, am I the only one with still 2 left in the competition?
Yeah,
you are.
The final could be a Matthew Derby.
You've got 2, Selo's got 1, and Nick's got 1.
We can't be having a Matthew Derby, guys.
Can you imagine?
That's crazy. But I just want to try and bring up the starting lineups for everyone here. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let me do that. Okay, cool. Starting lineups.
Oh, Selo's getting adventurous. Wait. People need to see what you're doing. Hold on.
Is it there?
Ooh.
Do you see it?
Is this confirmed now? Is this?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Do you guys see it?
We do.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it, but I can't see it.
I see Immobile managed to recover.
Yeah, he managed to miraculously recover, but so they haven't changed. The only one change from the quarterfinal victory over Belgium, where it's Emerson coming in for Spinazzola, who got a Achilles injury. I think it's quite an important position because Spinazzola was actually one of the best left backs in the competition, and they were using this side a lot, through Verratti and Insigne playing some triangles this side, and that's where. If you think about it, let's see, one of their goals came this side in the game against Belgium. So it'll be quite interesting. The 34 and 36-year-old centre back partnership, the 3 strong midfield. Immobile was actually quite frustrating in that game against Belgium. I think he was quite selfish. He wasn't passing the ball much, and yeah, I think he's likely to be starting this game. But on the Spain side, there's actually quite a big surprise. There is no striker. They are playing with a false 9.
But I mean, you could argue that they weren't playing with a striker for most of the tournament.
because Morata's been missing chances, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's just an empty shirt.
The man with 2 left feet.
I don't want to say much, but yeah. Oyarzabal is starting in the false 9 position.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Real Sociedad. He's the captain. He's the captain of Real Sociedad, and he normally plays out on the wing for Sociedad. So it'll be interesting playing 3 wingers basically as attackers. Pedri, as you know, is the 18-year-old wonder kid. He's run the most defensive meters in the competition. He runs tirelessly, and this guy is obviously going places. And interestingly enough, Laporte is partnering up Garcia, so the Man City partnership at centre back there, right back, obviously the Chelsea captain, and then Jordi Alba. Quite an experienced team, but I think their attack is lacking. I
was going to ask about that because those three forwards are all very pacey, and I wonder if they're trying to exploit the age at the back, and they're trying to. Yeah, they're just going to pump it, and they're maybe hoping that there'll be a second half slowdown from the Italian pensioners, and that could be their game plan because they're playing a very pacey kind of. You mentioned Pedri, he's moved, he's I think I saw a stat, he's run the most at the Euros.
Yeah.
So I think there's some serious there's a game plan to that. It could be a really interesting game. I think we could end up seeing a bit of a high scoring game.
No, true. No, true. It can be a high scoring game. I think I'm definitely going for a 2-1. Already my prediction in, Claudio. Just lock it in there. 2-1 to Italy. That's my prediction.
And I mean,
I
against
just rather
Switzerland,
you
Remember
spread
what
that.
mine was.
yeah, even though they're playing without I mean, Spain last game they had many shots against Switzerland. 27 shots, 10 on target. I mean, hammering 27 shots. I mean, gee whiz, that's rampant. That's relentless. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try to do the same thing against Italy. They're going to really make sure they test their fitness.
Okay, wait. Actually,
Those
my
guys at the
prediction
back there.
isn't 2-1. Actually, my prediction is actually 1-0. Sorry, I just had to go back to my notes. Sorry. I just had to take out the iPad. I had to take out the iPad. Just check.
Settle, what
what's going on there.
what were on those notes that made you change it now? I mean,
No,
there
man.
was just a
I
couple
think
of goals retracted there.
no. I just remembered that I didn't feel that Spain would score a goal. That's what my notes were from earlier on in the day. And I was analyzing, and I think the fact that, man, listen, I think Belgium's managed to score one goal via penalty. And yes, they could have scored other goals, but Spain in themselves, they struggled to convert their chances against
They've
Switzerland.
scored 5 goals in 2 games in a row in this tournament.
Yeah, they have. They have.
They're
And
rampant.
not even just that. Not even just that. Leading up to the
But
tournament,
in
it
the
needs
last
to be
game-
said.
but
But
in the
it needs
last
to be
game-
said.
There's going to be goals tonight.
37 goals. Just listen to this. So Italy, when they qualified, coming through all their games and coming through, it's 37 goals. Spain, not too far off, 31 goals, and that was
So
with
let's say-
Morata in that side. So it's not that much of a difference. So I think, like
be
you said, there
goals.
might be goals. Let's hope a goal gets scored early. I think, because then one of them have to go for it.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be goals. I reckon it's gonna be 3-2. Don't know who's gonna take it. It's hard to say, but I reckon it's gonna be 3-2 or 4-3. I don't think it's gonna go to penalties. I think this is gonna be one either in the 90 minutes or in extra time. But I reckon there's goals in it. I don't think either of these sides is gonna, because I don't think either team is gonna play defensively. I don't think either team is gonna go into this and say we'll score one and sit back. Spain have shown they haven't been able to do that this tournament. They've been winning by scoring, and Italy similarly has got they've shown their ability to score. I think it's gonna be a goal game. Maybe I'm just hoping that because I want to watch goals and I'm a neutral in this one, so I don't have to stress about
That's true. That's true.
Wongo, what do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of choosing, I'd say that that Italy would win the game in the end. I think though, I'm expecting Spain to try and attack them wherever they can. But I think they'll hold. I think Italy will be able to hold off the attack and maybe score a goal or two. But not. I mean, things. I think. Sorry. I mean, I think Spain probably does have a goal in them as well. I don't think it'll be crazy high goal scoring. I think probably 3 goals max in this game.
Arjun has jumped over to being on Chelsea's case now.
It's a fair case to make. How are they practicing at that place? Like, how big are the goals they let them practice in? What's going on? Can I just say, Wonga's given me an idea. Maybe what we need to do, because like, you remember when we were kids, there was those stop motion cartoons. And that's kind of what Wonga's doing here, where he like moves and then stays still and then moves. And then maybe we need to like bring that back, some stop motion YouTubery, where we only are allowed to move every like.
How is that possible? I can see everyone clearly. How is this possible? Like,
we're all moving, mate.
Wonga, you talking like this right now. This is what you're doing. It's like, hey guys, how are you?
It's very impressive. You can take, it's like you're a gifted ventriloquist. You could take the show on the road.
No way.
You could turn that little duck, the little StreamYard duck, into a puppet.
Oh, yeah.
Do kids' parties.
Oh wow!
There we go.
I've got a panda with no ears. I'll try that. Oh wait, even better. Hold on.
See, Claudio's freezing for me.
Sits on my desk.
But everyone else is all good. Claudio is
just move it every time. Every time Wonga talks, you got to move it.
Yeah, you just do that. You just go. Guys are ridiculous.
Have your say, Wonga. We've readied your mouthpiece.
No. I think I said my thing. I think Italy will take it for the sake of choosing a team. I'd say because I don't think it'll be simple. I don't think it's easy.
You got to shake his head now because he's doing that. No, you just.
Oh damn, guys, you guys are killing me.
That's fun.
Anyway, on that note, final predictions before we end the show, seeing as we might as well, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you see now, even you,
Yeah, you're getting too excited, and then your internet's like backing off.
guys, you guys need the internet upgrade. I think let's go into the what's this? The betting corner. Let's go.
Oh man, he's taking his ball and he's going home.
He's gone. He's taking his ball and he's gone home. He just needed to unplug the show, like goop. He's unplugging the show and then like the broadcast just ends.
Cool ideas. This is bullshit, man. What's going on here?
But
Stop this shit up, man. I'm trying to do a live stream.
What's happening? Who's this guy shouting at?
The internet. I think he's shouting at the internet.
What happened?
Great stuff.
Oh, wow.
Great stuff.
Honestly, fix it now. You gotta fix it now. This is unacceptable. I've got guys here on the line.
Claudio, we can hear you. We can hear you. Relax, man. Relax, Relax, guys. Claudio's showing you
I don't
guys.
just smile all the time. So when you need to get things done.
guys, Claudio's showing you how not to complain, guys. Nothing will ever get fixed with you shouting at people like that. Just speak in a calm tone, and just speak to people, but not just, But yeah, let's go for predictions, guys. Predictions for the Italy versus Spain game first tonight. We'll start off with Matt, Wonga, then myself, and then Claudio.
I'm going to say, I reckon there's goals in it. I think it's 3-2, and I'm going to back Spain just because they're one of my sides, and I want a Maddie derby in the final.
I say 2-1 to Italy.
Okay,
2-1 to Italy, and that's in normal time.
Yeah, I'm going for 1-0 to Italy. You
did you do it on purpose?
I'm taking the piss.
We should all do the Wonga pose and just stand very still.
Yeah, no, I'm going 1-0 with it, 1-0 for Italy rather. But actually, you know what I should do? If I want Spain knocked out, I should just say they're gonna win because this whole tournament I've been saying they're gonna lose and they just kept winning. But I'm gonna say 1-0 Italy and watch Spain go to the final.
Okay. And then the next one, England versus Denmark. So yeah, Matt, what do you think?
Oof, I'm gonna say 2-0 England.
Okay, Wonga.
That's what my heart wants, and I can see it happening. I
see potential heartbreak here.
Don't even say it, Wonga.
1-0 to Denmark.
Don't even say it, Wonga.
Oh,
take your frozen face away from that nonsense.
So me, I'm going to give it to England. I'm going to give it 2-1 to England. I think it will be an interesting game. I think it won't be obviously as free-flowing as they were against Ukraine. Denmark are a much better team than Ukraine, and they've got much more to offer. So yeah, 2-1 to England.
Oh, Arjun. We can't go out on penalties. We can't go out of a semi-final in the Euros on penalties. It'll be too much. It'll be too much. I can't.
Claudio?
I'm going to say, for great Odin's Raven, the hammer of Thor will come down on Wembley and hammer down the English. That's what's going to happen. But no, it's probably going to be 0-0. No, it won't be 0-0. It's going to be 1-1, and I agree with the penalty shot. I actually agree 100% with Arjun and Southgate's men losing on penalties.
Oof.
Yeah, that'll be heartbreak. It'll be even worse than losing in full time.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Now I'm going to be stressing the whole time. Right.
Hey, man, Matty, right. I'm on your side, man, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens there.
Gentlemen, final thoughts for the show and obviously for the viewers that are in attendance with us today. what do you want to
I
leave?
think just a final appeal along with the competition. If you guys get a chance, please package up some internet connection and send it to the guys who are struggling. They'll take it in the form of bits or bytes or gigs if you have. Every little bit helps. And yeah.
Please, guys.
Yeah.
We the future of this show counts on it, guys. We can't have Matt and myself have the great connection. We need the other two as well to have a good connection, guys, as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're gonna have to change Wonga's name to Stop Motion Wonga, which I might do anyway because it feels like it works.
Like this time, I'm gonna put when I get a green screen, I'm gonna put my connection at the back, like the name of my my service provider at the back. Then they'll see me.
That'll inspire them to do a good job.
Hopefully. Because this is horrible.
Who's asking about the shirts, Claudio? When are the shirts gonna be available?
Yes, so the shirts will probably be available from next week. Like you will see, Pums, I know you follow us on the Instagrams. So once that's out, you'll probably see it first on the Instagrams. And I just want to say, we only made 100. So it's going to be a limited edition, 100 shirts only, and that's it.
That's it. If you're not one of the first 100 people, then you have to wait for the next one.
Yeah.
And remember, each one gets hugged by Claudio before it gets packaged. So if you open it and hug it straight away, it's like you've hugged it.
It's like you hugged it.
Which is as close as we can do in the era of social distancing.
Yeah. And actually, it got made in Liverpool, so Jurgen Klopp's giving them a hug, and then they coming past me, and I've given them a hug, and now that's what's kind of. At
least what I said was.
Who wants a Jurgen Klopp hug?
Also, wait, I just want to comment on Pums. Pums, you said a lot of your kids might like those cards, so let them know they can enter the competition, and we'd love to send a pack, and maybe, they would get a shirt. No, they won't get a shirt. They have to pay for the shirt. But nonetheless, they can win the pack of cards. Yeah,
I saw that comment earlier, and it reminded me, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids my age learned to read just because of those cards. Because you had to. If you couldn't read, you couldn't play the game. So I'm pretty sure that those cards inspired reading in a generation of young football fans. So I'm glad those are still around.
No, definitely, yeah. That's cool, yeah.
All right. I'm going to count down to 3, 2, 1. And remember the saying, Selo?
No, but this is Tuesday's one, not Thursday's one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Tuesday, Thursday. Okay. I know I was going to do the countdown, and then I realized countdown, but you still know how to end the show, don't you?
Okay. If you don't know what to be
cool.
And then on Thursday is stop it.
That's exactly it. And on that note, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you very much. Peace.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.